But
Let's go to the East.
I don't think you're going to pick this one. It was great that you obviously picked Clarkson. We got, we were minds aligned there. But I've got a trade here that, again, you put this team in the top 6, okay, in the East, okay? And I'm talking about the Atlanta Hawks, okay? And I don't think, okay, they're top 6 at this point. So that's why I think they should consider this trade, okay? It doesn't necessarily make them significantly better right now, but it does free them up a bit of salary space moving forward for the next few years, okay? And they obviously do need to add some pieces to shift from that play-in or 6 seed sort of spot to hopefully in the top 4 or top 2 sort of potential in the East, okay, in the next few seasons. And they really don't want to miss out on this window where Trae Young is an elite player, okay? And he could be in play, will be an elite player for many, many years, but the windows don't last forever. That's the reality with sports, right? So the trade here I've got obviously is in the East is they're shifting Clint Capella, okay? And he's been on the block a little bit the last few years. All right, Okongwu obviously is slated to be the starter for the future there, okay, in the Hawks, okay? And Capella has 3 more seasons at $18 million a year, okay? And they don't really, it doesn't serve them any significant purpose there at this point if they're going to continue to decline his minutes. And I guess this trade here is one that actually, again, you had picked this team, finishing in the top 6 in the West, okay? And I didn't even have him in my top 6. I'm saying Clint Capella should go to the Grizzlies for Steven Adams. That's a straight up center for center swap, okay? And Capella then, just like the Knicks sort of trade, potentially can shift the Grizzlies now into that top 4 conversation in the West as a defensive-minded center. The Grizzlies are win now mode, obviously, Ja Morant era, and obviously the players around them that they've got there. But Steven Adams, look, he's got 1 more season. This is what I'm saying. The contract expires. The Hawks then obviously can go to the free agency, and look to see what other options they got there to take them up to the next step. And I think this sort of trade here really obviously gives both teams some level of flexibility and mixes it up for them to get better this season and for future seasons too.
I think I get the lob threat mentality for Memphis, but then I think that lob threat is huge for the Hawks. I think, Capella finishes a lot of the lobs. So I don't know if Adams coming in makes a lot of sense for them. Is it a salary thing that makes it a better choice?
But I'm saying you're shifting more minutes to Collingwood. All right, this season already, you're making that commitment, okay? And Steven Adams here obviously has 1 year left. So, you play him out, you see what happens there, what you get from him. You've obviously got bird rights, I would imagine, obviously, if he was to come across, so you would, be able to sign him if you wanted to keep him, okay? But you give yourself that flexibility because Capella in 3 years' time, all right, he's going to be traded. That's the thing, all right? In 2 or 3 years' time, he's going to be traded. I'm saying do it now, all right? And I think see what happens with both teams.
All right, so it seems like on the East, we both went a little wackier than the West. I think look, you know what, though, it's easy, right? Like Utah clearly is tanking. There's clearly still good players on there. They can get some extra assets before they've officially hit rock bottom and blown it up. But the East, I went in a different direction. All right, I think you went for fit. You're trying to get the role players going. So I'm going big swinging here. All right. Player that I picked is LaMelo Ball. Now, why would Charlotte give him up? Well, I'm hoping that the package that I've put together here is appealing enough that they could get rid of him. Now, you're laughing, but what is Charlotte
I'm
doing?
laughing
Okay?
as silently as possible to be polite right now.
It's very respectful. But what is Charlotte doing? The reality is their biggest off-season move was Miles Bridges, and that, for non-basketball reasons has become a catastrophe, and they've got nothing to show for it. It's unfortunate. It is what it is. And, I'm looking at the salaries here, and pretty much the best player, according to salary on Charlotte, is Gordon Hayward. And, he's a victim of a freak accident many years ago now. And really ever since that moment, without getting me on a rant about lower leg injuries, and once you have one, you start to snowball the rest of them, he does not stay on the court. So that's the move. I'm going to be sending LaMelo Ball and Gordon Hayward to the New York Knicks. And the package that they're getting back, and I'll go into a little rationale here. They're going to get back Evan Fournier. He's the big salary. It's not necessary, but he's big salary. He's 18 mil. And then they're getting back Cam Reddish, Obi Toppin, Amal Quickly, and Quentin Grimes. And you might be thinking, why would the Knicks give up every single young asset that they have? Well, they are receiving a young asset who is very flashy and would fit quite well in New York. And Charlotte is getting back a lot of young prospects that are only locked in for a year or two. But ideally, it means that they bottom out, because I feel like Charlotte, whether they keep LaMelo or not, should be in the tanking mode for Wembanyama, because him and LaMelo would be a fantastic combo. But Charlotte cannot stay put. And LaMelo has high likelihood he'll sign his rookie extension and then he'll leave after 7 years, because I cannot see him having any success in Charlotte. You know, when you look at his rookie of the year counterpart, Anthony Edwards, already going to the playoffs, already having a lot of success and his team getting stronger. He's got to be looking at his peers, basically thinking, what am I doing? Where am I going? What am I going to get done? You know?
I'm a little bit speechless after the silent laughing, because there's a few ways we could break this down. All right. Firstly, if I was the New York Knicks and you offered me this trade, I take it in a heartbeat. I think that's a no-brainer. Okay. The Knicks getting LaMelo Ball, all right, and the players that you had listed to give up here is a no-brainer. But it's a no-brainer because Charlotte has no. I don't get it. It has no logic for them to swing this trade right now. If you were trying to get the Victor, get into, how do you even say his surname? Is it where?
It's like Wembanyama.
Wembanyama, yeah. We gotta learn this. We're gonna be talking about him.
We're gonna be talking about him a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So Wembanyama, is it? Okay. All right. If you're trying to get in those stakes here, you trade Gordon Hayward, you trade Terry Rozier, you do not trade LaMelo Ball. All right. And then let's say Charlotte was to be so fortunate to get Wembanyama. Okay. Like you said, you pair him with Ball. Okay. And now you have two corner franchise stones. All right. Obviously, cornerstones of your franchise to take you and go for the next 5 to 10 years. Okay. So you don't give up on Ball now. Okay. You still got him on the contract. And by all I've heard, which let's be clear how much we hear in Melbourne, right, is that, Ball's happy to just play at the moment in Charlotte. I don't think he's disgruntled. Okay. I think he's happy to stay there. Who knows? Yeah, in 5 or 10 years' time sort of situation. Absolutely. Okay. But this is way too early for Charlotte to give up on Ball. This would be the worst off-season in Charlotte Hornets history for them, that what happened with Miles Bridges, and then to obviously drop LaMelo Ball to the Knicks, all right, for nothing more than, I don't know, what are they getting back? Toppin? Is that the
So I feel like there's been a lot of disrespect in your rant here. They're getting back Cam Reddish, who really is just dying to have a bigger role and see what he can do. Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickly, and Quentin Grimes. All of these guys are on 2-year deals, basically, right? Minimum. So you get a bunch of very good young players. You get a full season to assess them, but there's no expectations.
Which one of those 4 players is very good?
Quickly is a big deal. I feel like, you know what? I'm not a big New York Knicks defender, but I don't understand why you're struggling. Are you not aware of the fact that all those players would have been in the Donovan Mitchell trade? I can sprinkle in a pick or two if you want. I feel like that it's valid. I feel like it's valid. Right.
I respect the creativity of your trade suggestion, and this was obviously something that we said, hey, look, whatever, let's see which players we would like to see traded. So I think I think if anything, we've just identified that you're a Knicks fan. and
I-
and
well-
I think and clearly not a Charlotte fan.
I'm going to politely interrupt you. Okay. All right. Quickly, his rookie season averages of 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3.5 assists, but a high win share. You know how I feel about win shares. Had 4.2 win shares. Not bad. Not bad. Cam Reddish, averaged 10 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. But that was on pretty poor minutes per game. He wasn't getting a lot of minutes per game in New York, only 14. So that's pretty good. Obi Toppin, 9, 4, and 1. But you know that he's going to pull out a through the legs dunk in a game. I don't understand what's wrong with this package. And Quentin Grimes is their rookie currently. So that's a youthful package. You know that they're going to get some time to grow, but they're going to lose games for you. It's for the tanking. I love it. And it's because it's my trade. That's why I love it.
I think. Look, if LaMelo says he wants out of the Hornets, okay, then you got to look to consider what options are out there. Then your youth that's coming back that has potential, okay, could be considered. I don't think those players you're mentioning, and whether we see this or we don't see this, I'm not sure. Who knows? Whether they'll be at the Knicks for many more years and buried in that system, or they might get traded at some point. But there's probably no obvious trades at this point in the season. But I think even and this, I guess, even when players get greater opportunities, it doesn't necessarily simply translate into production and sort of that sort of situation. So I think these 4 players, have potential, but clearly LaMelo Ball is a whole nother level. And I think, like I said right at the start, the Knicks take that deal in a heartbeat. I think if that was being offered to them right now, okay. But I don't know.
Keep in mind, Gordon Hayward comes along with it, and that's still 2 more years. That's not a great contract. That's equivalent to the Westbrook contract. Like, yes, you could flip it next season, but you're stuck with that this season. They got a big payroll. They're very top heavy if they take LaMelo Ball. It's not a no-brainer. And LaMelo's only got 1 more year, and then you have to rookie extend, and that's a big contract as well. It's a real think piece that if this goes viral, people are going to enjoy it.